we were talking about Houston and Los Angeles. How did that come up? I said something about Houston being more violent than Los Angeles. So I decided to look up the homicide numbers between Houston and Los Angeles. And keep in mind, Houston is actually a smaller population than Los Angeles. Los Angeles has 4 million people, and Houston has just under 3 million. I think it's somewhere about 2.7 million or something like that. So these make the numbers in Houston even have a higher homicide rate. So I decided just to look at homicides as a comparison. And for example, in 2015, Houston had 303 murders when Los Angeles had 283. So which city is more violent between Houston and Los Angeles, at least in 2015? So those 303 homicides are occurring in a smaller city, smaller population. So also in 2017, Los Angeles actually had 282 homicides when Houston had 269. And even though Los Angeles had about 13 more homicides in 2017, keep in mind, Houston's 269 would still be a higher murder rate because of the smaller population. And 2018, which is the most recent year I have numbers for both cities, Houston had 279 murders and Los Angeles had 259 murders. So LA had 20 less murders, even though they have over 1 million more people. So Houston is definitely is a city that has a higher homicide rate, and they probably have a overall higher crime rate. So for those people who want to say something about Houston, you'd be incorrect. Houston actually has a higher homicide rate, higher violence rate than Los Angeles does. And the reason why I brought this up is because when James and I was talking about the death penalty, when we were talking about the guy that got sentenced to death in Alabama, we talked about Texas. Texas actually has a pretty active death penalty, and we're talking about it as a deterrent. Does it work as a deterrent? Do death penalty states have basically lower crime rates, lower homicide rates? And you can see with these numbers, Houston clearly has a higher homicide rate than Los Angeles does. But in Houston also, the state of Texas has the death penalty. And unfortunately, the death penalty in the state of Texas has no impact on lessening the homicide rate in Houston. And again, a smaller population in Houston than LA is, and higher murder rate, and in some cases, more murders. I was trying to get, here's the population numbers. Wow. Actually, Houston has 2.3 million people, and Los Angeles is 4.0, basically 4 million. So LA has 1.7 million more people, and basically the homicide numbers are the same. So that means Houston's homicide rate is significantly higher than LA's. And that, to all you people who are hating on my Houston videos on Street TV, if you go to Street TV, I have a whole section there on Houston. I did quite a few interviews in Houston, and a lot of people were putting Houston down as being fake or not like LA. Well, it turns up a little bit more in Houston than in Los Angeles. And that's nothing that I'm celebrating, but the fact of the matter is the crime rate in Houston is higher than LA.